Try this out soon, Michael, and we'll send you the video through Joel's computer. Alright, so learn, teach, manage, and support. Alright, now supporting every step of the way, like a guide, not a boss, not like another boss, right to the point where they're expanding their business. And now, right, the reason why you care that their business is growing is because of all the BB and IBB that's being leveraged. So, for example, Melinda, let's say you lead to Alex in California, who leads to Jason in Texas, who leads to Samira in Mexico. And Samira in Mexico generates 200 of those BV points through the health and nutrition line that we work with, Isotonics, right? Do you know Samira at all? No. Right? Do you know her customer base in Mexico?
Oh,
no. Exactly. Exactly. But the reason why you care that someone else generated any sort of BV or generated a sale is because everything travels up 100% all the way up to infinity. Wow. Meaning that Samira gets credit off that sale, a duplicate goes to Jason in Texas, a duplicate goes to Alex in California, and a duplicate goes to you, Melinda. 200 of those BB points. Same exact concept here. Let's say Brett leads to Joelle in Jamaica, and Joelle leads to Nak in Vietnam, and she generates 120 BB points in our cosmetics line. Do you know anything about cosmetics?
Nope.
No. No. Exactly. But the reason why you care is because, just like before, 100% travel up to infinity. So you get credit of that, just like everyone else in the team. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. But if you look at it, with 320 BV, you can't just go to the bank and say, where's my money? It doesn't work like that, you know? Right? You go up to the bank teller, start shaking the door, saying, where's my money? It doesn't work like that. They're gonna, they're gonna take you to a safe place. But the reason why you're not too worried, the best part about this business is that you're paid weekly. Meaning that every Friday, the computer in the company does a search all the way to infinity, adding up all the BB and IBB points traveling up. When the computer reads, as it travels up 1,200 points, and 1,200 points, right? The company actually sends you your first check, $300, the smallest check you'll ever receive for BB and IBB. Wow. An extra $300 for that week, that's not bad. Pretty solid. The thing is, we're not here for just $300. Like, we're not here just for a $300 check. There's more, and I'll address that in a bit. The thing is, it's not always a perfect world. Right? Not rainbows, sunshines, butterflies. Right? Let's say it was 1,200, and let's say this week it was only 1,100. Do you think you get all $300? No, actually, you don't even get anything.
Oh.
Exactly. But the reason why you're not too worried, because a great part through shop.com is that all your BB points stay in your banks on a rolling calendar basis of 365 days. Meaning that it could be next week, next month, 6 months from now, 11 months from now. If someone else generated 100 BB, now it'll travel up, a duplicate will go into everyone else's banks, and now you get paid that week. That makes sense? Yep. Same exact thing with IBV. IBV is for partner stores that we're working with. Meaning that if someone shops at, let's say, Victoria's Secret, generates 50 of those IBV points, that means those points will travel up a duplicate 100% to infinity, and now you get your 50 IBV because someone else shopped through shop.com. Makes sense? Yep. Right? Now, the only difference between BV and IBV is BV stays in your IBV stays in your banks on a rolling calendar basis of 730 days. Meaning that 2 years. 2 years companies are actually waiting for you to actually get paid. If you look at it, Apple employees don't wait for their, Apple doesn't wait for their employees, for 2 years. Here, IBV, 730 days, it's not if you get paid, it's only when you get paid. And you're not here for just a quick $300 check. We're here for a solid, stable residual income, meaning that the next threshold, right? If you wanted $300, you could work at any job today, right? And eventually you'll get $300. The next threshold is $2,400 and $2,400. An additional $1,200 on top of the first. The company recognizes this and sends you another $300 check for that week. Which is great. For every $1,200, it's another $300. right? It doesn't reset to 0. It adds up on top. So the next threshold is 3,600 and 3,600. The company recognizes this, and you can guess it just like before. You get another $300 check that week. The best part is the last threshold is a little bit larger of an interval. You work a little bit harder with everyone here, and it totals to 5,000. 5,000 and 5,000, 1,400 more instead of the average 1,200. The company recognizes that little extra effort that you committed to. What happens is they double your check, $600 for that week. If you do that all in a week, right, helping everyone and everyone helping each other, the company won't send you separate checks. They'll actually just send you one check, $1,500 for that week. Yeah, exactly. What would you do with an extra $1,500?
Travel.
Exactly. Right after you pay off the bills and loans and things, now you have more freedom to travel, right? Same exact thing with IBB. $1,200, $1,200, $300 check. And the cool part is, these are stores that everyone's already spending money on today. You're already planning to go to Macy's, Home Depot, Walmart. You're just not getting paid for it. But now through here, you're teaching people and you're helping yourself getting paid to the point where it's 5,000, 5,000 like before. You get a $600 check for that week, totaling another $1,500 for the week. You do this all in 1 week, the company would just send you, instead of separate checks, just one check, $3,000 for that week. Right? And you might have seen before when we met up, you might have seen $3,600, right?
Yeah.
So you might be wondering, where's that extra 600 comes from? That's actually one of the most ethical parts about this business. That's why I actually wanted to learn more about it, is because in order to get that extra $600, you have to take the focus off of yourself and help other people generate an income. Because let's say you've helped Alex here, you've taught him really effective ways to create this BV and IBV to the point where, let's say he generates 5,000 and 5,000 that week. So he gets his $1,500 check for that week. And let's say you taught Brett, and let's say Brett took the time out of his day to teach, let's say, Joel. And he generates 5,000 and 5,000 that week as well. Remember when I said everything travels up 100% to infinity? If that travels up, it's as if you generated 5,000, 5,000 as well, right? The company calls this a triple flush. And they say, Melinda, since you're going out of your way and helping other people generate an income, here's a $600 bonus for doing so. It's a leadership bonus. The best part is, that's what totals that 3,600. If you think about it, if you're teaching people how to teach more people, if you're helping people help more people, do you think it comes on a more frequent basis?
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's where that $3,600 a week comes in. This translates to $187,200 every single year residually, right? The thing is, if I left it at this, you might be thinking, how's that even possible? The reason why it's possible that everyone can benefit 100% to infinity and generate this income is because everyone's business is capped to make fair. Capped to make fair, everyone's business. Capped to. Meaning that, 3 exclamation points. Meaning that once you hit 5,000 and 5,000, you will get paid for it, and then it resets to 0. You might be thinking, how come it has to reset to 0? Because I worked my butt off, right? I worked so hard for it, right? The thing is, you don't worry, because what happens is you have to look at it in the long run, right? You can't look at it right now, because let's say in the future, maybe 5 years later, it's going to be more than 20,000 and 20,000 BB points. Traditional business, if you were like a Starbucks or something, right? And you sold 5,000 cups of coffee, you get paid for it. The next week you sold 20,000 cups of coffee, you expect to get paid 4 times more. Not in this business, because Melinda, this isn't like traditional business. You only get paid off of the first 5,000, leaving 15,000 left. What the company does with the remaining BB points, they reset it to 0. The BB points go to 0, but the money, the revenue associated with it, will actually go and pay everyone else in between, because it's fair to say you didn't generate all 20,000 yourself. Everyone else helped you out, is that right? The thing is, extra $3,600 every single week is great, but it's fair to say that you'd like to make more income eventually. Maybe there's more things in life that you want to accomplish, but they take a little bit more money, right? You can open up another shop.com because if you think about it, just like a Dunkin' Donuts or any franchise, if you're capped at the amount of money you can make from one Dunkin' Donuts in this area, what do? You open up another one, right? The thing is, you can open up another shop.com, you just can't open it up over here to the left or over here to the right. You have to open it up within your existing infrastructure, within your existing business. So here's your Melinda 2. The reason being is because if over here you were generating 10,000 of those BV points and it travels up, who's it helping?
The air.
Nobody, right? But if you're generating it over here, 10,000 of those points, and it travels up, who's it helping now? Everyone in between, and solidifying your first store. That's the best part about it. With 2 fully built businesses, you'd be making the same income as a business partner of ours in Flushing, New York. Her name is Olivia Lee. She's a partner of ours that we work really closely with. With her background being in investment banking, she graduated Columbia University, worked a year, more than 6 figures, but she hated it because she was working more than 90 hours a week. Right? And then with this business, she was building it in college part-time, just like we are doing right now. Now she's generating 25,000 every 4 weeks. Imagine, right? You can open up a third business, just like a partner of ours, or a mentor of ours in New York. Her name is Pauline Chang. She's an ex-software engineer from IBM. Her whole reason for building something for herself is she just wanted the time to really pursue everything that she wanted to pursue. To the point where now she's generating 36,000 every 4 weeks. Right? You can open up, Melinda, over 999 of them. Business development centers, that's what we call them. Open it up to your heart's content. I brought this up for you to see that it's possible, but don't even look at this number 999 or 3 or 2 or even 1. If you look at half of one is an extra $90,000 a year without you actively working. What would you start doing with your time? Right? You do a lot more. Wow, that's great. Now the last thing I wanted to show you here, Melinda, is just the different ways we actually go out of our way to help other people generate an income for themselves. Right? Because this business is all about giving back to other people. Because let's say a friend of yours, let's say Jason, he sees your success, you're generating 36,000 every 4 weeks, and you guys grow up together, and he's saying, wow, like you're helping so many people, how can I do the same thing? I'm interested, right? And you're teaching him how to save money shopping online to the point where he wants to create a residual income for himself. He actually he can own his own shop.com, he just can't open it up randomly over here or over here. He has to open it up within your existing business at the next available spot. Now he might be thinking, I wish I was at the top where you are, Melinda, because you're making all the income. But in reality, the best place to be is at the next available spot. Why? Because everyone in between has gone through some learning curve, right? Trial and errors, learning the ins and outs of this business. And because Jason is 100% invested into them and they're 100% invested into Jason, you think they're going to help him out? Of course, anything that Jason generates travels up 100% to infinity, to the point where if Alex wants to partner up with someone, they'd have to go to the next available spot. If Samir partners up with someone next available spot, if Joel partners up with someone next available spot, if you look at it, Jason just partnered with 3 new people he's never met a day in his life. He's getting 100% to infinity whatever's being generated. Phenomenal. Right? Financially, how we actually help people in other ways, let's say Alex was generating 4,800 of those BB points and 5,000, meaning he's not getting all 1,500 that week. Right, but let's say, Melinda, you generated 200 of those BB points. What you can do with that sale, you've never seen this before in any like traditional business today, you can actually give credit off of that sale to the last person that you partnered with. Give them credit off that sale, and because BB travels up 100% to infinity, what happens? It travels up, helps everyone in between, solidifying your second store traveling up. And now Alex here, 5,000 and 5,000, he could be in class and he just cut a $1,500 check for that week and it goes back up to you as if it never left.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. Phenomenal. Wow. Great. Right?
Great.
Now the last thing I wanted to go over and break down for you is are the requirements. And to be honest, I'm not really a huge fan of them, and it's for the reason that you might not expect. right? And the reason why I'm not a fan of these requirements is that they're actually very lax, too lax, because they are 50 BV, 10 IBV, and the UFMS.
Mhm.
And this breaks down to about 75, 15, and UFMS is 20 for the month. Meaning that total, it breaks down to 110 every single month. If you think about it, like, think of all the, like, the extra things that we're purchasing and subscribing to that total up to that. Xbox subscription, Netflix, Amazon Prime. Like, if you think about it, like, all these things that people are committing themselves to, it's way more than $110 a month. And I'm telling you that you can generate a six-figure residual income only for $110 a month. Breaking it down even further, this BV and IBV, these are just products that you're already using anyway. It's $90 in monthly expenses anyway. If you subtract that because you're already planning to buy it, the total is only to $20 a month. It's crazy. And that's without any sort of customers. God forbid you have like one customer that goes to the site and likes something and you generate retail profit. Running your business virtually for free. Right, the most this ever goes to is 280. If you're just similar to Amber Yang, a personal mentor of ours, generating $63,000 every 4 weeks on a monthly basis, the requirements only go up to that, no matter what income you're making now, right? To the point where 260 of it is just in products and services you're already planning to spend throughout the month anyway, totaling to virtually $20 a month. That's the phenomenal thing about this business. You can generate a solid income for yourself. You obviously would trade $20 for $63,000 every single month, right?
Yeah, totally.
Of course, right? The thing is, the only thing stopping you between now and then is the education behind it. Obviously, because with background in schooling, we obviously believe in education to achieve something professional in the future, and that's why we're all going to Miami. And where's your credit card? Because
I thought I bought it already.
yeah, now we're gonna book a flight.
Alright, great.
Right?
Let's do it.
Great.
Alright.
Right.